And hi everybody, welcome into the Manheim Township High School. We are ready to go and we are readily anticipating this rematch of the rivalry game between the 13-5 overall Black Knights and the 13-4 overall Blue Streaks. Knights are 10-0 in league play. Blue Streaks are 8-2. So much on the line for both of these schools tonight, so we're glad that you're part of the action here on HSD TV 7, a game that we have had circled on our calendars for quite a while now. Kasey, Kreider, Colson, our producer is Connor Senseneg, and we're getting ready for act number 2 of this drama, and drama it will be tonight. And when Hempfield comes to play Township, you always know it's going to be a barn burner, especially with so much on the line with these two Section 1 teams. Alrighty, Colson, Hempfield comes in at 13-5, a dominating win last Friday night over Cedar Crest in which they held the Falcons to 0 second quarter points. That game has now set up Hempfield with an opportunity. It's very simple. Black Knights beat the Blue Streaks tonight, and they bring home their first Section 1 title back to Neffsville in 15 years. However, they were the ones dominated the following night in a non-league game, but a potential District 3 playoff preview against the Governor Mifflin Mustangs. Hempfield had no doubt their worst game of the season, falling 52-20. So Colson, I'll open up the night by asking you, Hempfield had so much momentum rolling, an 8-game win streak, to have it all come to a screeching halt on Saturday. How can they try and get that bad taste out of their mouths tonight as they face potentially their toughest game of this regular season in a hostile environment that is Manheim Township?
Well, really, in terms of league play, I can see that Governor Mifflin loss last Saturday to be actually more of a positive in the end than a negative, because after the huge Friday night win against a good Cedar Crest team, you go and you maybe get a little complacent and feel like you should at least play right along with Governor Mifflin, and then they went and blew you out.
Sure.
So that could light a fire under the feet of the Black Knights and really serve as a gut check for them and teach them that there are teams that are good, and now since they won 8 in a row, they have a target on their back.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially this Township team is going to be gunning for them.
Well, for this Township team, this is a team that has also continued to roll since their last matchup. They're well rested, their last game being 6 days ago, albeit in a losing effort to another top-ranked District 3 team, Central York. I feel like the philosophy around this Township team is, yes, they were bested by Hempfield in the first matchup, but I think they still believe that they are the better team, and they've been itching for the opportunity to prove it here 18 days later.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. They're definitely ready to go tonight. They've had the 6 days of preparation time, and they have the fire under their feet after a loss to a top team. And they have the home court advantage tonight. It's probably going to get very loud at
that's what I was thinking.
And the emotions are going to be high. And I mean, Township wants nothing more than to beat Hempfield right now.
No doubt about that. You know, Colson, I was going to ask you what the keys to tonight's game were for Hempfield, but when you and I talked earlier this afternoon, you told me what the key was, and I agreed with you. It is stop Katie Bushaw. But how can the Black Knights do that here tonight? They were able to keep her somewhat in check throughout the course of the game, holding her to 8 from the field, 8 from the line. She is what makes this offense click. But how can Hempfield keep her from blowing it open and in the process slow down the rest of Township's offense as well?
So I think Hempfield has to go with sort of a hybrid style defense where you're playing 4-on-4 zone and then 1-on-1 with Katie Bushong and your best defender. And I think tonight that's going to be Jess Weinhold. And almost isolating Katie so that like she can't even get the ball. If she can't get the ball, she can't do any damage. It's simple as that.
Yeah, very true. Weinhold was matched up against Bushong when these two teams met the first time in Neffsville and held her own, actually more than held her own, against the top scorer in Section 1. For Weinhold, she's really come on lately, defensively and even offensively. She was the leading scorer in that game against Cedar Crest. Sure, she struggled against Governor Mifflin, so did the rest of the team. But you gotta think what she can bring tonight on both sides of the ball is gonna be crucial for this victory for Hempfield tonight.
Yeah, and I was speaking with Sophie Herman earlier today about the game tonight, what the game plan kind of looks like, and she wouldn't tell me all the secrets, but she said Jess Weinhold is super calm and collected, and she's going to have her hands full with the league's leading scorer tonight, but if she can keep her emotions under control, we've seen Katie Bushong get a little out of control in that area, and she's going to try to draw contact, try to draw the foul, and as long as Jess stays under control and stays smart, she'll be okay.
This is a very emotional game. When those two teams met the first time, and now we are getting ready to go. Shoot-arounds, warm-ups have ended, and the starting lineups, presentation of the starting lineups will begin here in just a matter of moments, followed by the presentation of our national anthem, and then we will be ready to go from Township. Going to be a fun one. We talked about what's on the line tonight, especially for Hempfield.
The Lancaster London League and Manheim Township School District emphasize good sportsmanship from all coaches, athletes, and fans. This contest is being played for the benefit of the students and student athletes of these schools. The body pain, noise.
You think for a young team like this, Colson, coming off that big loss against Governor Mifflin, that was definitely a wake-up call to the young players on this team. And you got to think they're going to come out tonight humbled maybe a little bit more than they were in some of their previous matchups.
Yeah, and that's just part of experience. You have to have those tough losses to teach you that even when you're on a win streak, that doesn't mean you're invincible, and there's always somebody gunning for you and has a chance to get you.
We'll start with the visiting Black Knights.
Alrighty, we'll get to the Black Knights starting lineup first.
Number 5, Jessica Weinhold.
And let the noise begin. Jess Weinhold is the first starter.
Senior number 15, Lauren Riggs.
Lauren Riggs had a buzzer beater 3 at the end of the first half against Cedar Crest.
Number 20, Lindsay Dakota.
Lindsay Dakota, big part of that first matchup.
Number 21, Autumn Cook.
Autumn Cook had a 3 in this game the first time these two teams met.
Number 32, Lauren Moffett.
And Lauren Moffett, the freshman, in the paint tonight.
Coach of the Hempfield Black Knights.
Kendra Merrifield is the head coach. And now for Township.
And now for the starting lineup for the home team, your Manheim Township Blue Streaks. A senior, number 10, Allie Quinn.
Now it's really about to get loud. Allie Quinn, first starter for Township. We'll touch on her more in just a second. Katie Bushong, leading scorer in Section 1. Can she keep it up tonight?
Number 15, Gracie Martin.
Gracie Martin.
A sophomore, number 20, Missy Welch.
Missy Welch.
And a sophomore, number 23, Gianna Smith.
And Gianna Smith rounds out the starting lineup for Township. Sean Burkhart is the head coach for Township.
Fans, we ask you this time that you please.
And now we will rise
remove your hats
and get ready for the national anthem.
The
It's behind
anthem will
me.
be performed by Manheim Township High School math teacher, Mike Marr.
All right, and we turn back courtside now, ready to go here in Township. Gonna be a fun one tonight. We talked about obviously what's on the line for Hempfield. Theoretically, they can lose this game and still be the Section 1 champs, but I know they'd love nothing more than to win it, and win it right here in Township, the home of their arch rivals. I know that's what they're gunning for tonight. We'll have to see how it all plays out. So, for Township, in that first game, they only scored 28 points. Katie Bushong had 16, but she only got 12 from the rest of her friends. Allie Quinn only had 2. Gracie Martin was blanked from the field, had only 2 foul shots that she made. You gotta think Township's gotta get one other player going tonight to really have a chance. And we'll have to see who that can be. Martin has been on a good string though lately. Over the past few games, and we tip it away. Bushong wins the tip for Township, and they will go to work. Allie Quinn will take it up with Autumn Cook, the freshman, guarding on her. And Martin, guarded by Lauren Riggs. Out to Quinn. Bushong looks. Welch trying to set a screen. Bushong connects from 3, and that's a part of Katie Bushong's game that we've started to see a little bit more of as time has gone on. The 3-point shot, and it's the opening dagger for Township tonight. Nice passing though up court from Hempfield. Moffitt trying to get the rebound off the pass from Weinold. And he'll have a foul called, it looks like.
That's exactly how Township tried to start the opening game, or the opening possession against Hempfield at Hempfield with a 3-point from Katie Bushong.
Yeah.
This time successful for him.
That could have started too much better. Got a 3, got a foul on the other side to get it right back for the Blue Streaks. And you see that matchup, Weinold and Bushong. Keep an eye on number 11 for Township, number 5 from Hempfield. All night long, they will be on each other. Here's Dakota picking it off, and he got a pushing foul that will go, I think, on Bushong, and yes, it will. So Weinold will inbound it here. See both these teams running a press similar to last time. We expected that. Riggs has to go up and get it, and does. Dakota. Keep an eye on 10 seconds. They get it across. They find Cook, and now with a shot. Cook lays it up, and it bounces off the rim. Second time so far we've seen that. And now Cook is called for a foul, so almost identical starting possessions here for Hempfield. Some layups in the paint that they just can't convert. One on Moffitt and one on Cook.
Hempfield doing a very fine job at beating the full court press, but then not settling down on offense is really what's hurting them right now.
Yeah. Trying to make a little too much happen here all at once. Hempfield running a press as well. Quinn hangs on, but then overshoots Missy Welch down court. Although it looks like that may have gone off out of a Hempfield player. So Township will remain possession here. And we see this crowd come up in arms for the first time tonight already. There's another push. And that one is going to get called on Weinold.
Fouls on Hempfield, number 5, Jessica Weinold.
Very similar story to Cedar Crest, Colson. All those early fouls for Hempfield. Here we are again, 3 fouls in the first under minute and a half.
That is going to be key for Hempfield, is keeping Township, or keeping themselves out of foul trouble, because Township is very effective from the line.
Quinn, a shot from the foul line, doesn't go. Now Cook. Gonna relax a little bit, take some time to set up, and now Dakota. And this is Hempfield's first real, feels like offensive possession of the night, and with that you hear the Manheim Township bench come up in arms. As Hempfield's on their side for the first time tonight. Dakota to Weinold. Back to Cook. Looking, finds Weinold. Dakota. Weinold inside, Cook out. Moffitt thought, now decides to drive. Passing up the mid-range shot, out to Cook, who continues to look. Finds Weinold. Martin gets on her, now Weinold's gonna drive and not draw the foul on Gianna Smith. Gianna Smith took a charge there from Jess Weinold. And a bad start for Hempfield just got a little bit worse. That's Weinold's second foul, so an early contributor and the player that we spotlighted in the open to have perhaps the biggest role tonight has to come out early in foul trouble. It's Bryn X in her stead. We'll see what she can do. Wide open across the middle, but missing it is Gianna Smith. Gianna Smith had a wide open layup over the middle. Somebody lost her, but Smith couldn't find the rim.
Those points are critical for Township because last time, like you said, only 12 points from players not named Katie Bushong.
Yeah.
And they were 2 easy ones.
But Gianna Smith has been a force defensively. She had some blocks in that first game, and she just forced the turnover there from Autumn Cook to give it right back to the Streaks. Quinn, middle, Smith, Bushong on axe. Now passes out to Welch. Quinn inside, Bushong again, fight for it. Axe was there, now it's Dakota one-on-one with Quinn. She'll take a mid-range shot that gets blocked, and Dakota is fouled on the way on the attempted block there by Allie Quinn. And Hempfield will have a chance now, over 3 minutes in the game, to get their first points on the board.
Allie Quinn, her first, team second. At the line, shooting 2 for Hempfield, number 20, Lindsay Dakota.
So Dakota, see what she can do from the line. 72% entering the night, and she puts Hempfield on the board here with foul shot 1 of 2. Number 2 also goes. 3-2, Township over Hempfield. And Quinn loads up and fires to Smith, and then fires to Axe. Quinn Axe cuts it off from Katie Bushong, and Hempfield starting to get some momentum going here after a rough offensive start. It's Cook to Dakota. Looks, finds Cook. Axe, bounce inside to her. Axe is blanketed by Martin, by Bushong, by Smith, and it just trickles out of the rim. That one was about halfway through the rim, and it just spun its way out there. Bad break for Hempfield. Now here's Bushong driving, getting her own rebound, and getting fouled on the way. That's one thing Katie Bushong did emphatically well when these two teams met the first time. She went 8 from 8 from the line.
23, Bryn Axe, her first team fifth. At the line, shooting 2 for Township, number 11.
Already the 5th foul of this first quarter for Hempfield. Bushong connects. And now we will see Kira Mattis come in. Now this is an interesting story, and I'll explain this after the second foul shot. But we are seeing Kira Mattis get a lot more playing time as of late. Bushong connects on that one. So Kira Mattis, also a player on the JV team, but she doubles as both a JV player and a varsity player. She was the team's leading scorer in that loss to Governor Mifflin. Had 2 threes, 7 points overall. And they are really starting to get her more involved now. Interesting to see. Mattis, also a member of that girls soccer team that went to state semis along with Jess Weinold and Lauren Ridge. She was a starter on that team, and she's starting to play more of a role here now as a sophomore coming off the bench. She gets the call here over to Cook. Back to Mattis, who will look to drive. Instead, pass to Riggs, who passes to Cook. Trying to make some moves happen, and the swat by Gianna Smith does not go down. And now Autumn Cook on the way back, trying to direct traffic as she gets Hempfield to within 1 once again. Quinn, looking, gonna drive as well. Dakota got in there and forces it. Forces the turnover. Axe was there to mop up, and now it's Dakota taking it up. But again, Colson, as we expected, a lot of defense early on here in Township. Dakota inside. Cook gets it jostled away from her by Gracie Martin. And that is a foul called on her.
Number 15, Gracie Martin, her first team third.
First for Martin, third for the team. Martin has 19 points combined over the past 2 games, but the big thing is 5 threes in that time span. As she tries to rebound from that early performance. Mattis on the inbound to Axe. Dakota passed it up and went to Riggs and didn't get it. So Dakota maybe had a chance to back in. Instead, like what she saw from Riggs on the other side, but Riggs couldn't finish. And Township has an opportunity now to add to the lead. Quinn to Martin. Martin trying to drive. Bounce. Nice pass inside to Welch, but called for a travel.
I think defensively, Hempfield is really earning the team their offensive possessions. They're just not executing at this point. They're getting the shots down low, which is really where Hempfield's going to have the most success. They have a pretty good height advantage down low, and they're getting the shots they need. They're just not going in right now, and you keep shooting, and they'll start to fall. Yeah,
we'll have to see. Hempfield certainly hopes so. Certainly hopes they start to fall. And that game against Cedar Crest couldn't get anything to fall, it seemed like, no matter how hard they tried. And that was a similar story for Hempfield against Governor Mifflin. They took and missed multiple threes. Dakota gets back on it, and now Axe with a regrouping Township defense. Everybody is scrambling, and Hempfield still hangs on to possession, and now Gianna Smith is called for a push. Getting down and physical there, as everyone was fighting for the ball.
Number 23, Gianna Smith, her first team.
Gianna Smith called on the foul.
Hempfield lucky there to get away, get that foul, because really they need to get it to the opposite side there, because they have 4 defenders.
And Cook, 4 defenders plus a shooter. Cook's first shot of the night from 3 does not go. She went 1 of 4 in the first matchup. Nice pass to Bushong, and what a finish. Katie Bushong over Bryn Axe there. on the receiving end of a long pass, and she finishes the layup off. 7-4 Township. It's Cook to Mattis. Back across, all the way across to Abs. Hangs on. Mattis fight with Bushong. Instead dishes to Dakota. She tries to make people miss in the paint. And now Cook, a shot from just inside, will not go. And Welsh is fouled then on the way back. And Hempfield is starting to get in big trouble here with fouls. Granted, both teams
Foul
are.
is on Hempfield, number 20, her first team.
And we'll see some sub-ins here. As Bella McCoy comes in for Missy Welch, and Aaliyah McLeod comes in for Gracie Martin. And now we see a timeout called here. Looks like by Hempfield. Good chance for both these teams to regroup. Colson through the first 6:47 of gameplay. We've seen some offense, some defense, and some offensive mistakes as well, and a couple defensive lapses too in there. So both these teams have something to work on right now back in the huddle. Early impressions on what we've seen so far.
I think Township's doing a very good job in transition, moving the ball, and I really think Hempfield is too. Township just has really one more finish than Hempfield does. I think right now the purpose of this timeout is to get a play called offensively that's going to get you an easy bucket.
Yeah,
We've seen Hempfield have really smooth combination plays between 3 to 5 players, which is really has Township their heads on a swivel, but they can't find the ball.
Yeah.
And then you have one player who sneaks back door and has an easy layup shot. And it's just about execution at this point.
Yeah,
it's just about making that shot that your coach gets you.
Maybe Hempfield now has to adjust defensively, because as we mentioned in the open, I think the belief was we were going to see a lot of Jess Weinel and Katie Bushong, but with her in foul trouble, she's got to go to the bench for at least a little bit. So we've seen more of Bryn Axe now on her, and maybe that's a bit of an adjustment for the sophomore to make. And Axe trying to cut it off there, but instead Bushong gets back on it and then gets it away, and it's Axe again there to clean up and get the rebound for Hempfield. Inside a minute to go in quarter number 1.
That's good pursuit there by Cook.
Yeah. Mattis cross to Cook, cross to Dakota. Who will look, step back, gets out to Mattis. Dakota. Looking. Mattis. Thought. Gotta be aware of Mattis as a shooter tonight, based off what we saw against Governor Mifflin. As she took 6 shots from 3 in that game, made 2 of them, of course. Got a pushing call there against Township. It's going to be on Gianna Smith once again, and now she will come out. And Missy Welch, after a short spell on the bench, will come back in for her. Mattis, cross to Axe.
It's good defense by Township to find the play and read it.
Yep. Cook to Riggs. Hempfield had 2 buzzer beaters at the end of the first and second quarters against Cedar Crest. Are we in for another here? Dakota Shumsen doesn't get it, and McCoy able to get the rebound. And that's going to be how quarter number 1 comes to an end. Just about as defensive as the first matchup. 7-4, the score in this one. Blue Streaks over the Black Knights. And these teams will go back to the huddle now and make some adjustments here coming in to quarter number 2. Have to wait and see how that all plays out. We have this little break in the action. I want to give a little shout out to some of the other Hempfield teams. You got the boys basketball team. They've got senior night tonight against Manheim Township. Of course, beat Township the first time these two teams met here at the Blue Streaks place on a buzzer beater putback by Daniel Sears. So we wish all the seniors good luck tonight with that, and all the players for the boys team as they wrap up their season.
And I was talking to some of those boys players, and right now their season, they understand that their season is coming to a close faster than anybody on that team wanted, but they said they want nothing more than a sweep Township. That would be like their ideal season at this point could be winning twice against Township, which is going to be a hard feat. But
they're in the process of that game tonight, and if we get any updates in that game between now and when we go off the air, we'll let you know. Also want to give a shout out to the Hempfield wrestling team. We did a wrestling broadcast earlier at the beginning of the year. Last Wednesday, they clinched their Section 1 championship against Warwick. And then on Friday and Saturday, they went to the LL League tourney, which ironically was right here in Township, as a lot of the LL League championships are. And Hempfield won their first league championship since 2004. So congrats to the Hempfield wrestling team. And they play the start of District 3 team tournament play tonight against York Suburban, and if they win, they'll head to the quarterfinals as well. So I want to give a shout to them. Also, senior night for the swim teams, boys and girls swim teams. So everybody in action tonight. We want to give a little recognition to them here as we start this second quarter. Travel called there on Lauren Riggs, so Hempfield not coming out quite as crisp out of the timeout as they were hoping for the end of the quarter. Moffitt now comes in for Mattis, and we'll see what Hempfield has dialed up in their first defensive possession. Township their first offensive possession of quarter number 2. And applying the pressure, Bushong across to Quinn. Township will go to work in their half. And Quinn blocked there. Moffitt and Cook were both there. That freshman dynamic duo both contributed on the block to get it back for Hempfield. Cook out. Moffitt this time she'll take the mid-range shot and won't connect, but Cook will get the rebound and now work back outside. Dakota to Cook.
Dakota's got a mismatch right now.
Yeah.
In height.
Allie Quinn on her. That was a matchup we saw a lot in the first game as well. Quinn on Dakota. Dakota won that one for the most part. Here's Riggs. Doesn't get it. Moffitt sticks it back in there though for the bucket. And now Moffitt and Cook both playing press here at the backside. Cook trying to run over McLeod from behind. And finally, Township gets it across there with Allie Quinn. Welch, back to Quinn. Bushong will take another shot from 3. That time it won't go. Cook will win the race to the sideline and get the rebound. And now Dakota will take it up with Riggs. One-on-one, inside, trying to get to Moffitt. Instead, Axe, look what she found! She just found Hempfield's first lead of the night.
That was the game plan. Throw it off the defender's hands.
Oh, man. Sometimes it's just those lucky little bounces. We saw it in the first game, and we're seeing it again tonight. 8-7, Hempfield, their first lead. What can Township do now to answer? Across to Welch. Cook and Dakota both on her. Now it's Moffitt on McLeod. Out to McCoy. Back to Quinn. Bushong. On Axe. Again trying to step back. Now it's McLeod. Looking. Moffitt goes down. McLeod takes a shot. It won't go. And Hempfield will get it back. Frustrating offensive possession for the Blue Streaks. And with that in mind, they'll put Gracie Martin back in now in Aaliyah McLeod's stead.
That missed shot there by Township is a perfect time to bring up that when you're shutting down Katie Bushong, you are going to succeed because right now Township has 7 points, number 11 for Township.
Has all 7.
Has all 7.
Uh-huh. Good catch there, Colson. Very similar story to what we saw in the first game. Cook to Axe. Back to Cook, inside, Moffitt. Cook, nice pass. What a finish by Autumn Cook.
And that's a really well-designed play because they've run that play 3 times already. And that time they switched it up ever so slightly and got Autumn Cook open under the basket.
Those freshmen have some good chemistry, and imagine how that's going to continue as they continue on playing their varsity careers. It's Quinn back to Welch, back to Quinn. Looking for somebody, now we'll try to drive. Gets it out to Martin. Martin back to Quinn. Bushong and Axe fighting hard. Coach Burkhardt not happy. He thinks there should be a foul down inside. Instead, it's a missed bucket from McCoy. And Hempfield is rolling right now on a 6-0 blitz against these Blue Streaks. Very similar to what we saw in the game against Cedar Crest, when Hempfield was down early, but then blew it open in quarter number 2. And here's Riggs from 3. That one will not go. And it's Quinn doing a nice job out-jumping Bryn Axe for the rebound. And Quinn will take it up now. And she'll take a shot from 3, and it bounces off. But McCoy is there for the rebound, and that one doesn't go. And that might have been a mistake on Autumn Cook's part trying to field that, and she tried to keep it in bounds. I'm not sure who possession would have gone to down there anyway. It was tough to tell who the ball went off of last, but Cook, just for good measure.
I think Autumn Cook had to play it. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it was one of those 50-50 balls. You don't know what the ref is going to call.
That's true. Very true. So regardless, though, it's possession retained by Township. Bit of a break there. Bushong directing to the middle. And going to take another one and get it. So Bushong has now become this team's leading scorer in three-pointers made. That's her 16th on the season. Second tonight, and she's already in double digits. 10-10, Hempfield and Township. And that gets the bench area back in this one. And Quinn cuts it off as Cook was trying to get over to Moffitt. And it's Gracie Martin back to Bushong. Township goes back to work. Quinn looking, finds Martin. Haven't seen Martin tonight from beyond the arc. Inside, Bushong, passes out. Smith rips it away from Autumn Cook, and now Quinn from the line. Will not get it. Will not get it. So that theme is so much more exemplified tonight, Colson. Katie Bushong literally is Township's entire offense right now. Crazy to think.
That makes you think Hempfield might start gambling and doubling her.
Yeah.
And leaving an open shot here and there. And just as long as they can rotate through that successfully, that might be very successful for them.
Quinn's had a couple open shots that she hasn't hit. Here's Cook gonna try it again. And for the third time tonight, won't get it. Trying to warm that three ball up. And now it's Quinn who goes all the way down court but can't get the layup. And now there's a fight. That one's gonna go off out of Moffitt. But those open looks, and now, well, Hempfield doesn't agree with it. They think it went off out of somebody else for Township. Now the ref's going to talk about it and see who they think it went off of. Looks like it'll stay with Township, though, as Kira Mattis will check back in for Lauren Riggs. Crowd's still not happy about that one. Fast-paced second quarter. We're down to 2:17 in the half, and now you got some falling as Bushong got tripped up as it was Cook and Mattis there, I believe, over the middle. And now Bushong is having a conversation with the refs, as is Allie Quinn. With Bryn Axe in there. And Bushong and Quinn appear to be expressing a little bit of discontent here with the referees, as Township is now in the bonus. That conference is over. It's a 1-on-1 foul here. And Bushong will not make it. So 10 for 10 combined among Hempfield this season. Now she's 10 for 11 from the line, and Hempfield gets it back. Mattis across to Rakota. Trying to make a move. Across, Moffitt. Mattis. Axe, working the perimeter. Here's Mattis. Assess their options and flips to Axe.
They got to be careful with that play inside now, because Township is read it the last time, and they keep. Oh, there
they
it is,
do it again though, and that one just bounces out, and Moffitt not able to get it. So.
Well, maybe not. Maybe they just need to change where they do it from.
Yeah, that's true. That time it was Dakota passing inside to Cook. Here's Bushong. Guarded by Axe. Minute 20 to go. Quinn trying to put the moves on Cook. Instead, it's Bushong who drives, gets to the bucket, and falls down. It looks like she's called for a travel, or actually no, a foul. Charge for anything else. And if you think it wasn't loud in here beforehand, Sophie Herman and Lauren Riggs come in for Axe and Moffitt.
And that was Mattis stepping up for the team and just standing in front of her. And as soon as contact happens, you fall down and you get the charge call.
She's got a smile on her face so you can see from a mile away. Off that charge. There were a lot of bodies down there. It was tough initially to tell what happened, but Mattis took the charge. Bushong was trying to get her to take the bait and didn't do it. 10-10, it remains. Cook content to wait.
They're gonna hold for a last shot here.
Oh, wow.
Looks like that's what they're gonna do. 40 seconds left.
This is comical. Cook is just standing there, and Township is not making any effort to try and get this away. Katie Bushaw's looking up the clock. So is the rest of Township. So is the rest of Hempfield. Everyone's looking, and nobody's doing anything. This is hilarious. And finally, Dakota, after about 30 seconds, calls for the ball, and Township or Hempfield will go to work. We've seen a little bit of everything, and now Mattis gets it to fall. And now, coming down to the end, final shot, Quinn from 3. Got it! Oh, man! What an end of the half that was! So, wow! So what a wild way to end the half. You have the bucket by Mattis after you have a game of chicken at midcourt, and then Allie Quinn races down court and is able to get the three to connect. What a time for Township to get somebody other than Katie Bushong on the scoreboard. Wow. That was a bizarre ending to that first half.
That was a wild ending, and that shows you the importance of not exhaling until the final buzzer goes, because Hempfield did exactly what they wanted. They took a minute off the clock and scored a bucket to go ahead before halftime, and then they all exhaled. They were jogging back on defense. They didn't pick up the ball. They didn't stop ball, which is the first rule of defense, is stop ball.
Yep, and it was Quinn who made him pay. So with that, we will be back on the other side of halftime. We'll be back for quarter number 3, 13-12. Township leads after another wild first half. What will the final of 4 halves of this rivalry game for 2019-2020 have in store? We're about to find out, but for my producer Connor Sensen and colleague Colson, I'm Kasey Kreider. We'll be back in just a little bit. And hi everybody, welcome back to Manheim Township. We are ready to go for what promises to be a very exciting second half of girls basketball action tonight for Manheim Township. Here in Neffsville, the Blue Streaks are up 13-12 at the half. That last second 3 by Allie Quinn after the shot that came just seconds before that by Kira Mattis is the difference in the game right now. And I'll bring in my partner tonight, Colson Hunt, once again. And one thing we see for Hempfield as they get ready to come back on the court for the second half, Jess Weinhold is out there. So we didn't see much for her in the first half. She got herself in foul trouble. Very similar to what we saw from Lindsay Dakota in the Cedar Crest game. Looks like they're going to bring her back out and unleash her back to full strength on Bushong, and we'll see how that affects Township's leading scorer here, who has 10 of Township's 13 first half points.
And it's good to know that you have a backup in case she continues to be in foul trouble that can still do the job, because I mean, she has all but those last 3 points, but it's still only 10, which was manageable for Hempfield's offense to score more than 10 points.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's Martin inside. Gianna Smith can't get to go. Nice job by Gracie Martin to get the rebound, but not again. As she put a little bit too much behind the layup. Dakota gets there, and now Hempfield will go to work for the first time offensively in quarter 3. Down by 1. Dakota pitches out to Cook. Whoops. Will go to Weinhold. Back to Cook. Back to Riggs. Inside Dakota. Nice play. Who makes Missy Welch miss and gets there for the lead.
I was just about to say, Lindsay Dakota has to start scoring more points. Oh, look at this.
Looks like you had a jump ball there called, Lauren Riggs got in there.
She snuck in and blindsided there and just put 2 hands on the ball long enough for a jump ball, which was a smart play there.
Yep, that will go to Hempfield, of course, as they alternate. So, smart play there by the senior, who really, as the season has gone on, has found her role in this offense. As it's Dakota to Moffitt, to Cook, to Weinhold. Inside, Dakota fires and finds Cook, and that one bounces down for a 3-point lead.
Cook for 2.
Cook's 6th point of the night. She is Hempfield's leading scorer to this point. Martin across, Smith. Now gets a shot. It won't go. Race for it. Riggs gets there. Hempfield is rolling to start half number 2.
I think they were a little angry about that last shot at half.
I think you're right. Not just that, but also angry from Saturday's embarrassing loss. And talking to Lindsay Dakota earlier, she wanted to take a lot of the anger out tonight on Township. And so far, this game has been a lot more closely fought. As it's Cook inside, Lionel gets it taken away as it's Allie Quinn getting there. She'll go across court to Welch as it was Moffitt blanketed on her, and now Quinn gets it back and Township will go back to work. So Colson, I'll beg to you the question, who can Township get going aside from Bushong? Obviously Quinn had that 3 at the end of the half. Is she the person that Township needs to go here? Here is that complimentary piece?
I was going to say, usually Allie Quinn compliments Bushong very well, but very quiet until the last shot, which was almost kind of a prayer.
Yeah. Oh, Dakota got tripped up, and Riggs and Quinn both go down for it. Hempfield somehow keeps it, and Cook now drives and gets plastered there by Missy Welch, as I think Welch was trying to return the favor that Kira Mattis had and take a charge there. Didn't pay off.
Foul is on Township number 20.
Called for a foul there is Welch.
Welch didn't quite get her feet stopped there. I think that was the issue.
Yeah. Lionel looks over the middle. Dakota tries to get tall and get to the rim. Get the rebound. Try it again and put too much on it. With 5:13 to go. Quarter number 3.
If Hempfield keeps rebounding the way they are right now, they should be totally okay because they're really just getting themselves extra shots and extra possessions, and they really add up in the end.
No doubt. Allie Quinn looking. Out. Smith. Bushong trying to post up inside. Instead, she'll flip to Martin, who baseline drives and now finds Bushong. She looks, thinks, and now Quinn will go to work. Township will try again to get on the board here in quarter number 3. That's Martin to Welch, who gets tripped. Dakota takes it away. Missy Welch got tripped up by Lindsay Dakota, and Lindsay Dakota able to get on the ball. And now Moffitt trying to get tall, and Welch saying, all right, if I'm going to get tripped up, I'm going to make a play on the other end. And she did just that to get it back for the Blue Streaks. As Dakota was just trying to set up Moffitt to get taller there than Welch, and Welch said, I'm not letting you take that from me. Inside, and getting to the bucket is Smith. Third leading scorer on this Township team had been blanked until that bucket right there. And it's 15-16. Still Hempfield with the 1-point edge. Under 12 minutes away from potentially taking a Section 1 title back to Landisville for the first time since 2005. But only if they can hold off the Blue Streaks here in Neffsville. As it's Cook across and getting a handle on it was Smith. Hempfield retains possession as Smith was not able to get both hands on it and control it. Riggs to Cook. And over and trying to set up Dakota, but instead it's Allie Quinn there. And off the fast break, Smith for the lead, doesn't get it. And Weinel for the rebound, and now Riggs taking it off.
4 on 3 right now. Oh,
and overshoots Cook, who tries to keep it in and can't.
Hempfield's just got to get much crisper on the passing right now. A lot of errant passes.
Yeah, that was an opportunity there for the Black Knights. Now 3:23 to go in quarter number 3. Game that has a lot of similarities to the first one we saw. Katie Bushong's been the offense. Hasn't gotten a lot from anyone else so far, but Gianna Smith has started to come on, and here she goes again. Inside, now it's Martin trying to body her way. Dakota gets knocked over, doesn't matter. Moffitt gets the rebound. And Dakota calling out to Cook, telling her to slow down a little bit.
Which is smart. Hempfield needs to settle down.
Agree with that. That's just Dakota. Looking, finds Weinel. Cook. Trying to ponder over what she's going to do. She'll try to drive. And Gracie Martin got there and got the ball and knocked it out of bounds. So good offense, good defense from Hempfield so far. You could say the same about Township for the most part, even though they've been only held to 2 third-quarter points. They're at least getting those opportunities. They just got to start connecting on those shots. That's wide open again, and Martin knocks it out there. Gracie Martin trying to get something going on either side of the ball tonight, as she's been blanked on the scoreboard once again.
Hempfield's got to go back to passing around quickly and around the perimeter and then finding that inside backdoor look.
Yeah, no doubt. Hempfield trying to be the second team to potentially win here tonight, or Township. Township up 26-20 in Landisville over the boys at halftime. That's the last update we got. As it's Dakota fighting for it. Hanging on, and that's a jump ball that will go to Township as Missy Welch got her hands on it. As Dakota had to bobble it there to retain any sort of possession. Now it's Bushon. Blanketed by Moffitt. Out to Quinn, who they lock in a corner, but she gets it away to Bushon. Cross to Smith. Martin, and now it's Cook taking it away and getting it punched away by Allie Quinn. And now Cook gets her hands on it. So had a lot going on there and some sudden change. As it was Cook who got the steal, and then Quinn got the steal off her, and then Cook tried to block the shot across court and couldn't do it before it went out of bounds. Township goes back to work, take 2. This time they get it across to Smith and Martin. Quinn, guarded by Cook. Bushong. Looking, trying to direct Welch the other way. Now it's Smith. Out to Martin. Bushong, Welch. Martin coming open inside. Moffitt trying to block it, puts the pressure on. Smith with a stick back to give Township the lead. And now we'll see a timeout here taken, I believe, by Township, as they have just taken the lead now for the first time in this quarter.
Full timeout taken by Township.
Great job there by Township, just staying on top of the ball and eventually getting it to fall through the bucket now for Hempfield. Do you get the sense they need to calm down a little bit too?
I absolutely think that's the case. Right now, yeah, when you get nervous, when you get anxious, when you start to relax, you start making errant passes. And I was just telling you this at halftime. On the volleyball team, we call that a high school brain. And when you're playing 2 very competitive teams in a competitive environment like this, you can't have high school brain, you have to have adult brain. And what that means is you need to get focused, and you need to do the little things right, and you need to do the little things perfect. Yeah. And then everything else starts fitting into place, and then it becomes fun. But if you're not doing the basics right, and you're unfocused and a little lazy here and there, it becomes, it just snowballs, and your emotions get into it, and then you can't get any production out of it. So,
fair point, fair point. We'll see if Hempfield can do that here. Coming in, the tail of tape of this game, Township has the #1 offense in Section 1. They've got the #2 defense. Of course, the #1 defense belongs to the Black Knights. Offensively, they're ranked 4th in terms of points per game, but again, we know that's just not really Hempfield's style. They play good defense and complementary offense. And for the most part, we've seen that here tonight, but they might need just a little bit more, like they did in that first game, to be able to prevail. As Cook will take it up. Out to Weinel. Cook. Weinel. Looking as we're inside a minute in quarter number 3. Dakota. Weinel. Don't think Hempfield would hold the entirety of the time for this shot, would they?
No, I think, well, they're taking their time.
They're taking their time, no doubt, but it's not as obvious of a hold as we saw at the end of the half. And as I say that, alrighty, gonna try this again. Autumn Cook is gonna wait, let this Township crowd get a little loud. And now we'll see as we get down again to that about 17-second threshold is when they dish it out to Dakota and try again. Very interesting strategy. I don't think we've seen that so far this season from Hempfield, at least not any of the games that we've done Here's a shot. Cook trying to finally get the 3-ball. Can't. But Riggs trying to put it back. Can't. And it was Lindsay Dakota doing her best Katie Bushong impression there at the net, trying to set it in there and couldn't do it. And Township retains a 1-point lead. Another wild ending to the third quarter, and to the fourth now we go. And we shall see now if Township can hang on or if Hempfield are just 8 minutes away from a Section 1 title. 1-point deficit though for the Black Knights. And Colson, I will ask you now my usual question. What are the adjustments now heading into this final quarter? We'll start with Hempfield. What can they make?
Oh, I think we've already started talking about it. They just got to get crisper on the passing, work around the perimeter, and then find the inside pass. That's worked for them the entire first half. It worked for them for the first 2 minutes of the third quarter, and then all of a sudden they just decided that they were going to abandon that and start throwing turnovers instead of assists.
Yes.
So I think they just need to get back to that. Now for Township, they need to start getting, and they did in that third quarter, they need to start getting everybody back. Right now there are only 3 scorers out of, we've seen, what, 7 players?
Seven man rotation here for both teams. Or I guess 8 for Hempfield, 7 for Township. But Gianna Smith has 4, Allie Quinn has that 3, that buzzer beater at the end of the first half, and Katie Bushong has the other 10, but she didn't have anything in that third quarter. So we'll see. This is Weinel, who is no longer in foul trouble, over to Dakota. And Gracie Martin got in there and tried to get it away, and instead is going to be called for a foul. It's one thing we did not see very much of in the third quarter. There was only 1 foul in that entire third quarter. It was on Township. This is now the second of the half for Township, but Hempfield, they've not committed any fouls. And head coach Sean Perkard is not happy about that call either. Remember, there was a sideline warning in this game the first time these two teams met.
Yeah, he likes to do a little bit of the reffing himself, I think.
True. He's very passionate, but sometimes that's the mentality. It's nice to have that mentality. You just got to not let it overtake you, especially in situations like this. This is the quarter where we saw Hempfield come alive in the first matchup. Will they do it again? Riggs to Dakota.
And Township has gone to this zone defense, which is, I really think, the root of Hempfield's problems right now. Is Hempfield's not, I'm not sure if they didn't prepare for it or they're not quite sure how to beat this zone.
Well, let's see. It's Muffin, and she bounces it over to Quinn. Right you are, Colson. Hempfield does not look comfortable playing against Township's zone defense right now.
And what happens is as soon as somebody gets inside, that's where Township just decides to swarm the ball. And right there it creates turnovers.
Missy Welch out to Gracie Martin. Guarded by Riggs. Thought about sending up Welch inside. Decided to flip to Quinn. Now it's Smith, Bushong. Will look to spin Weinald around. Weinald not giving it to her. Martin, Riggs, more fighting down in the paint. Quinn trying to direct Smith, and Moffitt not ready, but it doesn't matter. She got there in time, and she forced to travel on Gianna Smith. Hempfield gets it back. Kira Mattis comes in.
Got to keep your head on a swivel if you're on defense for both teams in this game, because as soon as they see a defensive mistake, they're going to make you pay for it.
Yes, they will. We've seen it all night. We continue to see it here. Coming down to 6 minutes to go now. Just outside of that, Weinel, Cook, Mattis, dishes to Cook. Interesting to see how they've used Mattis and Cook around the perimeter, and then Reese tried to bounce inside to Dakota, and again, Colson. Township is right there playing zone. It's almost like rallying to make a tackle in football, except they're tackling the ball and they're getting the ball. And it's Quinn, who is blanketed, and Gianna Smith gets back on it. That was lucky for Township. And now Bushong drives and gets there.
And that shot's okay, because you knew she was going to score in the second half, and that's the first time she has, so that's okay.
That's okay. But
they need to find a way to beat this defense.
Need to answer, yes. That's the number one thing right now for Hempfield. They've not scored in the fourth. Here's Mattis. Riggs. Cook. To Riggs. To Mattis. She'll load up from 3. And it goes off the rim. No good. Now it's Welch. Bounces back. Nice job getting out of that to Gianna Smith. Back to Allie Quinn. Township taking it up. Trying to set up Bushong over the middle there. That did not work. And also, I question that decision a little bit. She didn't really give Township time to set up. They're not really fighting the clock right now.
That almost looked like a lob.
At first I thought that was some sort of a half-court shot.
Yeah, looking for Zion Williamson down low or something.
Katie Bushong has been close in dominance to Zion Williamson throughout the course of the year, but not in that one. Hempfield calls a full 60-second timeout with 4:44 to go. In this game, Township, as we mentioned, the potential scenarios, if Township wins tonight, they're still 1 game back on Hempfield. So Hempfield still controls their own destiny, even with a loss tonight. Township has, they play Cedar Crest, final game of the season. They play Penn Manor on Friday. They still have 2 non-league games in there. Very intriguing matchup against Red Lion, who's a top District 3 team, on Thursday, and then Lampeter Strasburg on Saturday. So they actually play 3 days in a row.
That's tough. That's a tough schedule.
Tough. But that'll be all in the midst of Hempfield. Now, Hempfield's got 2 more league games after this, as does Township, which is why they can clinch with a win, but if they don't, they'll have a crossover game Thursday against Elizabethtown. Elizabethtown, very good Section 2 team, entering the night at 13-6 overall, I believe, yes. And they're right in the thick of the LA League playoff race in Section 2. And then they end the season, their senior night game is against the 3-16 McCaskey Red Tornadoes. We'll see how that one goes. Hempfield triumphed in the first matchup 51-24. So yes, Hempfield can still win the Section 1 title with a loss tonight, but I think obviously you don't want to leave that to chance. You just want to get it done here, and they know they're still within striking distance, down by 3. With 4:44 to go in the ball game. All right, Weinl inbound to Cook. Cook has been ice cold tonight from 3.
Look at the new offense for Hempfield. Everybody on the perimeter.
And you got to fight. Ball will retain with Hempfield as Bushong went out off of her. But good catch, Colson. It's like a little different offensive philosophy and scheme here for Hempfield.
And this is exactly right. This is how you beat a zone defense in any sport, is you spread the team out, and that leaves open spaces. The zone gets disorganized, as you can see now, another cutting inside. That's a smart coaching change.
Mattis baseline, and looks like she's called for a travel. And now it's Coach Merrifield who's hot on the sideline. She doesn't agree with this. Actually, it's a foul call, not a travel on Mattis. And now Mattis is blanketing Martin. And it was Cook and Mattis both there. Once again, just taking Allie Quinn to a corner and trying to put as much pressure on her as she could. Doesn't pay off there, though. 4:16 to go. This game has been what we expected it to be, another slugfest, another shootout, and just as physical as the first match. As here's Quinn, trying to go all the way down. What a jump by Cook to cut that off!
That's a clever play.
Oh, man! Autumn Cook everyone was sprinting down there, and Autumn Cook just ran in, threw it back in, took it away, and now Hempfield gets an opportunity once again. And in the process, Allie Quinn is called with a foul. And now Hempfield with 4 minutes to play. Again, with a chance. They've been shut out the first half of this 4th quarter. Obviously, they're hoping the second half is not the same scenario. Cook, inside, Dakota. Looks and gets fouled by Welch.
Foul is on Township number 20.
Township's got to be a little careful. They got 4 fouls now in the half, so they can't give up too much more. Hempfield's got plenty to get. They only have 1 foul, and that was the one that we just saw on Mattis. Cook, out to Mattis. She will load up again, and it goes off the rim. But Cook, another job of keeping it in, and then it goes over Mattis's head. Went off her hands. Weinl gets back on it, Mattis gets back on it, and Hempfield again going back to work now after a close call. Inside, Dakota to Weinl. You got to fight, and Township gets it back. Dakota was trying to set up Waddle over the middle, but there were too many bodies there. And Township gets it back. Oh, that cross-court Riggs trying to come in and break it up. And couldn't do it successfully, as possession will remain with the Blue Streaks. And now Township will take a timeout. Up by 3 with 3:14 to go. Very interesting to see the chess match, I think, that's being played right now by these two head coaches, Sean Burkhart and Kendra Merrifield, and how they are structuring their both offensive and defensive game plans and adapting them to what we've seen throughout the first 29 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, you have to think that every one of these timeouts, they've stopped calling offensive plays to get points. They've started saying, this is how we're going to play defense now. And
let the offense do itself, but...
yeah, like you said, it's a chess match. It's whichever coach makes the right decision first.
Colson, I don't know how good you are at chess. I'm only good at checkers, but...
I'm not very good.
But hopefully, these coaches are better than we are, and we'll find out which one is superior in that reign in about 3:14 of game time. Let's see how it all unfolds here as we get ready to finish this one off. Still very close. Up for grabs. It's a 3-point Township lead, but this one is far from over. Hempfield didn't take their final lead until the fourth quarter against Township. When these two teams met the first time, it was a little earlier on, granted, than right now. But we've seen this team. They are a fourth quarter team. We've seen that all season. Let's see what they do here. Quinn gets it out to Bushong, and she will load up right away, and it will not go. Bouncing around, and Brent Ash couldn't get it. And instead, it's Welch now with a sky ball, and it's Dakota getting back on top of it. Fans want a foul. They will not get it. Autumn Cook brings it up. Under 3 minutes to play. Weidel to Cook. To Dakota. Scrambling around, finding Axe. Cook. Dakota trying to direct. Liggs is all the way open on the other side, but she couldn't hit it.
Hempfield's got to get some of these outside shots to fall. They're getting
Riggs
the looks.
was wide open. She had time to set up a campfire, but just couldn't get it to fall. And it's been those shots that Hempfield has not made tonight that may be their poison in this one. Bushong. Looking. Instead, we'll pass to Welch. Martin. Smith. And Cook cuts it off. Autumn Cook down the court. In a foot raise. And it's blocked by Smith. Gianna Smith with another block to save 2 points. Now Hempfield will keep the ball. But how many times have we seen that in the two matchups combined? Gianna Smith getting tall and getting the block. And now it's Dakota. And again, Smith getting on it. Hempfield will get another chance, and they're hoping third time is the charm. It's hard to deal with number 23 down there at the rim. As we're under 2 minutes to go now. Riggs goes all the way across to Weidel. Cook, she will load up for the tie, and it does not go. But the rebound.
It's a great rebound.
Yes, great rebound by Dakota, and it will send her to the line for 2.
Fouls on Township number 10, Allie Quinn, her third, team fifth.
Allie Quinn is called.
At the line, shooting 2 for Hempfield number 20, Lindsay Dakota.
Dakota does not make the first one. Number 2 will be crucial. She gets that one. 19-17.
Now it's all about a defensive stop.
Yes, no doubt. Those are the stops that Hempfield was able to get in the fourth quarter last time. They need some more here. Smith lost the ball! Oh, man! Ball handling mistake there from Gianna Smith as she was going down the court and just lost control of it. And Hempfield's got it back, down by 2, 1:45 to go. 19-17. Hempfield with a chance to tie or take the lead, and before they do, Kendra Merrifield will take, I think, a very smart Hempfield timeout. With 1:35 to go. Alrighty, Colson. Finally, it took about 6 minutes, but Hempfield finally got on the board there in that quarter, albeit on a foul shot. What do they need to do, though, getting from the field? We've talked about Township's defensive strategies. How have you seen that change throughout the course of this fourth quarter?
I think as of late, they've been getting the shots they need, and it goes back to what was happening in the first quarter. They were getting the shots they need, they just weren't finishing. And
yeah,
they figured out how to do that, and they have a minute and 35 to figure out how to do that really twice.
Yeah.
And then you need 2 defensive stops.
And then Township, I mean, I wouldn't say they're maybe back on their heels, but they've made some mistakes. And again, you start to wonder. You know, we thought this game might come down to whoever didn't lose their head first, whoever kept calm and didn't get caught up in the moment. And we're starting to see cracks on both sides, albeit, but cracks in that.
And when Manheim Township gets the ball back, they are going to have to be real patient. They can't go for a fast break or anything.
Got to be smart in this situation. Speaking of fast break, though, it's Cook up the middle and with the end one for the potential lead. As Autumn Cook gets 2.
Look at Coach Merrifield smiling. That was drawn up.
Exactly what she drew up. Couldn't draw it better if you were calling it on Madden. And now Autumn Cook for the lead with 1:32 to go. Got it. And Hempfield is in the lead for the first time this quarter.
That's okay. You can give up that foul.
Yeah, agreed. He got plenty. That's another second of the half.
Foul is on Hempfield, number 20.
And that is where the advantage right now comes so much into play. Township, they've got no more fouls to give before they put Hempfield in the bonus. With 6.
Hempfield already is in the bonus.
Oh, look at this. Cook gets it away. Dakota doesn't get it off the rebound. Missed layup by Lindsay Dakota, and now she will give a foul to Allie Quinn.
Fouls on Hempfield, number 20, Lindsay Dakota. That's her third.
That is Dakota's third, and second in a couple seconds for Dakota. Now so they're going to stack it here with Martin. Back to Quinn. Keep an eye on the clock. Minute 16 to go. We'll update you as it matters. Coming down to the end. Quinn. Looks. Middle. Smith. Back to Quinn. How much is Township going to hold right now? They find Welch. She doesn't get it. And Dakota gets the rebound. Crucial miss there by Missy Welch, which would have given the Blue Streaks the lead. And now Hempfield takes a timeout, 58.5 seconds to go. Wow.
Full timeout called by Hempfield.
And now both teams get a chance to regroup a little bit. So what's Township drawing up right now? Being down for the first time in this fourth quarter, what's the play defensively, and then what's the ensuing play on offense?
It's tough because the zone defense has been working, but when you do that zone defense, you know what's going to happen. Hempfield's going to hold the ball and run the clock out. You can do that at this point.
Yeah.
So I think they might. I would not be shocked to see a little bit of a hybrid defense where you man up on the ball to force it away, and then keep everybody else zoned, because the zone has really been working for you.
Yeah.
As far as Hempfield goes, hold on to the ball first of all. Don't
that's
do anything.
the first thing. You can't turn it over here.
Don't turn it over. And yeah, keep everything crisp. I would say keep it around the perimeter. If you see the open look, go for it.
Yes.
Like you don't need to hold for a final shot here.
No.
You can get a basket. But most importantly, possession is key, and then a basket at the end is the cherry on top.
Yeah. Nothing silly, nothing dumb right now for Hempfield. If they could keep from doing that, they are less than a minute of game time away from their first Section 1 title since a lot of us were in kindergarten. Even beforehand. We were probably in preschool in those days, or in daycares, wherever we went. Been a long, long time. For these Black Knights to win a Section 1 title, they could do it in under a minute, depending on how this finishes. It's Weidel across to Riggs. And Welch is going to foul her, and now that's going to send Riggs to the line, shooting 1-and-1. And you think maybe that's also a strategy for Township. Make Hempfield earn the points right now and give yourself time to still do something. And
I don't know if you might be right. That might be the strategy. But I'm not sure I agree with that strategy.
And this is going to be so intriguing. Lauren Riggs has not attempted a foul shot this entire season. This entire season, and now in this, maybe the biggest game of the regular season, she has to attempt 1-and-1 here. So how will she do? got it completely. That was never in doubt. And now another one to come. To keep that 100% on the box score alive. Will not go. And fight for the rebound. Give it to Martin. 2-point Township deficit.
You got to stop ball here. She's the only, well, she and Bushong are the only shooters.
Yeah. Quinn, we have not seen Martin tonight, but is this where that 3-point shot comes into play? Bushong is getting it across to Martin. Coming to the end. What is Township going to do here? They can hold. A 3 would win it. A 2 would tie it. How long are they willing to hold? How long have they drawn this up? Is this the plan? Well, I think we're about to find out. Jerkona gets it away. Welch staying with it is Quinn. Inside 20 seconds. Down to 15. Coming to the end of this one. 12, 11, 10. Quinn looking. Shooting. Off the mark. And let's see. Fight for it. Bushong. This could be the game. Bushong won't get it. Cook. Game is over. And the Hempfield Black Knights are going to win their first Section 1 championship in 15 years. In dramatic fashion, down to the end, a defensive stop for the final 50 seconds of the game. And the Hempfield Black Knights are bringing it back to Landisville. My, oh my, oh my, oh my. 21-19, the final score. And the Hempfield Black Knights, it has been a long time coming, but they are the Section 1 champions. Unbelievable. What a finish that we just saw to this game. And man, where do you start when you talk about that? I mean, I don't even know where to start.
It's obviously a great defensive game from both teams, and Hempfield just got the one last stop at the very end there to seal the deal.
I'm curious, do you question Township's decision at all there at the end to hold for that last shot?
No, I agree with that decision. I challenge the decision of fouling Lauren Riggs there because she made it a 2-point lead, and now Township has to think about whether to go for a 2 or a 3, and ultimately they didn't decide on anything.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore because the Hempfield Black Knights, for the first time since '05, they're the Section 1 champions, and they do it here against their arch nemesis in Manheim Township. What a night, what a game. 21-19, the final score. For our producer Connor Sensitig, my friend and colleague Colson Hunt, we will see this team in playoff time. Gonna be a fun one when they get there. You've been watching Hempfield Girls Basketball on HSD TV 7, and you just witnessed a piece of history as Hempfield is bringing home the Section 1 title for the first time in 15 years. Good night, everybody.